This video contains spoilers for the newest season 3 episode titled Olivia and Yunan. I thought I learned something from True Colors, and that is the fact that Amphibia should no longer be called a funny frog show. I mean, sure, most of season 3 of the show so far are filled with lighthearted episodes that you can watch anytime you want and will make you laugh, just like previous seasons. But when the show's crew did attempt to make an incredibly disturbing episode, I think they absolutely hit the nail. Olivia and Yunan is the latest Amphibia episode to drop, and it was really hyped up to be a significant part to add to the overall plot of the series. Looking at the synopsis, I was like, hey, it'll be cool to finally see Marcy once again since the devastating season 2 finale. Because, you know, she's been stored inside the water bowl for God knows how long now, and I just want to see her usual self again. But now that I watched the entire episode, I wished she just stayed in that water bowl because what happened to her here is, to put it lightly, disturbing. In fact, it is the most disturbing episode in the entire show, even more than True Colors. So from the start, the episode is about Lady Olivia feeling sick of King Andrias' abuse of power to the surroundings of the world that he once ruled over by mining the hell out of it with an army of robots. I emphasized once ruled over because I don't think he even cares about Amphibia anymore, that it's kinda sad. His sights are now set on conquering other worlds and killing off Anne, who was separated from her two friends when she got transported back to Earth. Olivia is really pissed about all of this, and so is General Yunan, who doesn't want to pledge her loyalty as a soldier to an evil ruler and backstabber. Before I went any further, I just want to say that I really enjoyed their chemistry in this episode because previously we only saw them together once or twice. It'll be cool to see them become an official couple, but hey, Yunan picking Olivia up on her lap is enough to make me love them. So both of them sneak past the robot guards and go to the basement to pick Marcy up, who is still stored in that pickle jar thingy. They thought they needed to do that because Marcy was the one that could outdo Andrias intelligence-wise. She is awake, or at least half awake, and it's cute to see quirky Marcy finally returning on screen. It's pretty sad though that the first things she is looking for is Sasha and Anne, or excuse me, Sashi and Anne.
Sashi?
Because Anne was the last thing she saw when she passed out, and she just wanted to talk to them properly ever since she revealed that it was her that got the three of them to Amphibia. But no, she finds herself with her newt moms instead. So then they try to escape, only to find themselves trapped in some kind of deceptive simulation that is being projected by hundreds of glowing eyes. And this simulation brings out each of the characters' biggest fears. Wonder what that reminded me of. Olivia's biggest fear is disappointing her mom for not taking care of the land. Yunan's biggest fear is grub hogs because of childhood trauma. And Marcy's biggest fear is, unsurprisingly, her two friends getting mad at her. She then cries because she knew she messes up big time, and instead of fixing everything, she just made it worse. It's as if this scene snaps her back to the cruel reality she finds herself in after her waking up from her slumber. And this scene is kind of unsettling. Like, yeah, I know it looks comical visually, but imagine if you were in Marcy's position, where your best friends turned against you. I don't think you wouldn't flinch because of that. They soon discover the projector eyes and they proceed to destroy them. They celebrated for a second, tried to escape, but Andrias gave them a big ol' high five and revealed that he saw everything. I didn't believe him until he revealed this creepy Sauron-like eye in his crown. Like, damn dude, I know you wanted an extra eye, but And then the creature that was teased in Andrias' basement in the first temple was revealed to be this weird spider-like creature with multiple eyes. Okay, this is getting weird. And suddenly it reaches for Marcy and just locks her in this chair. Okay, this escalated real quick. Andrias then tells about his plan of making Marcy a host for the core, who was created from the Mossman, who I knew was important back when I saw their drawing on Andrias' castle. He says that Marcy is one of the smartest to ever do it, so of course Andrias sacrifices her for his own sake and to obey his master. And what I like about this is that Andrias feels a bit pity about this sacrifice he has to make. It's not Thanos level of regret when he throws Gamora off a cliff, but scenes like this show that Andrias has hung out with Marcy so often that he doesn't want her to be the one who he has to let go. He says that he opted for an alternative, but he was left with no choice. At least that's what he said anyway. And he's still upset of her because he got beaten in Flipboard. One time! He got beaten one time! This is why I think Andrias is such a compelling villain. Yeah, he's your typical cartoony villain with simplistic goals, but he is just so hilarious at times and he feels like an actual dangerous threat for the main characters. Bellows has an unsettling look, but he's not as threatening. He mostly just sits on his throne, and when he does fight, he gets bamboozled. Luz doesn't even try to beat him, just like Anne does to Andrias. Oh boy, do I like comparing stuff. I don't think the Owl House fans will be happy after this. What happens after this though is incredibly hard to watch, that even Andrias himself looks away. I'm not playing the clip because of copyright reasons, and I think you should watch this scene for the first time by yourself because this is so frightening. Marcy's shriek as she gets possessed by the core is just wow. She is just 13 years old and she suffers more than any characters in the show. She gets backstabbed and now she gets electrocuted. Marcy may have started this entire mess, but this is so brutal for a child to go through this much. She does not deserve this. At this point, it's pretty obvious that she must have regretted her actions because she is the one that pays the most price. And you know what's even sadder? Anne and Sasha have no idea about this. They are willing to save Marcy, but they have no idea that she is controlled by another spirit. What will their reactions be when they find out that their innocent friend has turned into whoever this is? What about her parents? Her parents don't know anything about this. I can think of plenty of ways on how this is depressing, but damn, I think you get my point. Marcy started off as just an innocent child, and after this scene, I just want her back. I just want her back, man. I just want her back. Also, Haley Ju did an excellent job in the voice acting here. Everyone in this episode did, especially when Yunan said, "Stop it, you maniac!" The voice acting just cuts so deep, as if it's horrifyingly real. And the episode just ends in a very unsettling way as well. Unlike any previous episodes, the end credits are just blank. No funny animations, no chill music, just blank. Just like my emotions after watching that episode. Man, I can't believe that Amphibia pulls through yet again with another heartstring pulling episode. I thought I was mentally prepared for anything was to come after True Colors, but Olivia and Yunan just surpassed my expectations. Not only that, but I think this episode is neatly structured. I like how in the middle, things slow down a little bit as Olivia and Yunan travel through the basement just so they can see the pretty floating ghosts in there for a little breather and for an indication that even though Andrias might have destroyed the environment, there is still nature to be conserved down below. I'm surprised that Disney didn't include that disclaimer to promote True Colors because I think this episode has a much more intense final scene for younger viewers. I hope this won't be the last time I'm blown away by an Amphibia episode because they are able to sneak in episodes like this into mostly lighthearted and funny episodes so seamlessly. Especially considering the fact that the episode preceding it is just basically like a Spider-Man reference parody kind of episode. How did we get from there to here? This just makes the tension for our protagonists ramping up. The pressure is pretty much on. I hope the show is able to bring more plot-centered episodes this intense during the show's finale. And yeah, that's pretty much all I hope for.
I mean, so much has happened. Do you think Marcy's...
She's alive, Hop Pop. She's just gotta be.